Hello, Market Hive family. So this is, I think, like day 5 or 6 of this recovery. I don't know, a few of you might have seen my day 1 and day 3 a few days ago. I was in pretty rough shape because my landlord had given me notice I have to move. And there's just been so much that has gone on before. And that day I just cried out and I did this thing on Market Hive where I just like bared my soul. And it's something actually that I've been feeling the Lord telling me to do for so long. And then I found Market Hive. And so I've kind of put my toe in the water a few times to, say some things that I felt impressed to say. I've since taken most of that down, chicken out, I guess, or I don't know, just there's a lot of personal stuff there. So today is about day 5 or day 6 since I did day 1, which was a really heart-rending day for me. And since then, I've only gotten on once. I was going to do it every day, but honestly, I was terrified too, and I wasn't. The last 6 days though, I have been doing this recovery thing. It was a catalyst. That day was really the catalyst for my recovery. I spent the last 6 days, almost a lot of it, just crying out to the Lord, seeking Him, but in joy, right? It's not, that's the thing. That's why I feel like I have a message to share. Because, yes, I have gone through a lot. There's others who have gone through so much more than me, definitely. But the thing is that when you can go through it with peace, and that's the message that the Lord keeps sharing with me and telling me and wanting me to share with other people. Because although, of course, there's crying and a lot of emotion and a lot of heartrending, most of the time I'm so full of joy and hope. And so to look back for a second here, I'll share with you. So let's just go back a couple of years. So 3 years. So just over 3 years ago, my husband and I were in a motorcycle accident. Now, we'd been married for, I guess, 8 or 9 years, 9 years. And it had been pretty cold marriage. I wouldn't say abusive, but he just, it wasn't there. He didn't love me. And I was stuck with my daughter out in the middle of the woods, and we were very isolated, and I didn't work, and everything was in Gord's name. And then I was very low self-esteem because that had been my whole life. But me and my daughter, we were still happy. I loved the Lord even then, even though it felt like it was only me in the whole house that loved Him. And but then suddenly there was a motorcycle crash, and he was in the hospital for a year, and I suddenly had to stand on my own 2 feet and take care of everything, and I did a really good job. I actually really surprised myself, and the Lord just like showed me how faithful He is. And suddenly we actually had more money than ever before. And my message when I woke up in the hospital with 9 broken ribs, broken collarbone, 4 broken vertebrae, and both my lungs had collapsed at the scene as well. And when I woke up, and the first thing that they told me when I woke up was that, I better call family because Gord was down the hall, and, I better call family kind of thing. And I just knew the first words that popped in my head were from the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. I know it was, and it said that what the devil meant for my harm, the Lord would use for good. And also Romans 8:8, that all things work together for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. And I had felt for a long time really called to Him. I'm really messed up. I was so messed up in my head about so many things because my whole life was really, well, not when I was a kid. I had a really good childhood, other than the fact that I think my mom kind of loved my brothers and sister more than me. But, typical mom issues, right? Other than that, it was an amazing life, childhood. And I was just really shy and introverted and didn't like myself a lot. And so everything else, I guess, kind of probably stemmed from there and brought on a lot of stuff myself over the years. So anyways, I'm supposed to only be going back 3 years, right? So 3 years ago, we had this accident. I'd already really, really, really loved the Lord. And I knew that this was going to be for good. And so much stuff that started happening for good. Now, my husband down the hall was hanging on to dear life, and he was in really bad shape in critical care for like 2 weeks. And he ended up in the hospital for almost a year. He had stroked during surgery to save his leg, and he was in really, really bad shape, infections and all kinds of stuff. And I still had peace. I just knew that he would be okay. And everything just started falling into place. Everything from financially to the people that I needed, were given to me. And I got a whole team of legal